Hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a coach and a channel, and welcome to my series called Spirit School. This is a weekly series where I invite forward the spirit guides to share their wisdom with us. And all that I ask is that I be completely intrigued. I want to learn something new. I want you to teach me something that I've never thought of before, offer perspective into new awareness that I've never had before, and help me open my mind to new ideas and new possibilities and awareness that fascinate me and tickle my curiosity. And I always love to start this weekly series by inviting you into this experience with me. If there's something on your mind that you've been curious about, or that you've always wanted to know, or that you haven't found, um, you've been kind of looking around and searching for an answer, but you haven't gotten a straightforward response, or you just can't seem to get to the bottom of it. Ask me, comment below, private message me on social media at Amanda Lauren Blau on Instagram or TikTok, and we can turn it into an entire episode. And that's what we're going to be doing today. I had somebody ask a really intriguing question that we're going to explore in this week's episode. So this person wanted to know how we how we receive information. They didn't specify if it was intuitive information, so I'm just going to leave it open, just as information about things that we don't already have the answers to. So there are many mentors and mystics and psychics and intuitives and highly intelligent people that are able to uncover new awareness and new possibility, new potential, and new ideas from somewhere. And then eventually they die and pass on. And if all of this information is coming from the same place, we should be able to access it inside of our own individual lives as well. We shouldn't necessarily need their help to do that. And so this person wanted to know how. How can we each go about accessing that information for ourselves? Sort of like what I'm doing in this series, where I'm opening my channel, opening my heart, and asking Spirit to share new information with me. And I'm going to add on a little bit of my own questions to this. So on top of that, I want to explore where this information comes from. Where is it actually accessed? Like, what is it? Where does it come from? How do we access it for ourselves? And when we do access it for ourselves, what is actually taking place inside of that experience? So I'm kind of seeing all of the loose ends inside of the possibilities of this question, and I want to get to all of that. um, and just explore it and see what happens and see where they want to take us with it. So the way this works is I close my eyes, I tune in with them, and they just start sharing with me. And it usually starts with an image or a simple idea that grows and expands as the conversation unfolds. So I'm going to close my eyes, tune in, and we'll see how this goes today. Just give me a second. So they're immediately kind of showing me this image of this pinpoint of light that exists at the very center of who you are. So if you imagine your sense of self, not just your physical self, not just your body and your anatomy, but like a deep consciousness inside of you, an awareness of you, deep inside the recesses of your inner knowing, not just your mind, not just your body, but like a combination of the essence of who you are. There's this like pinpoint of light right at the core of it. And that is your awareness of yourself. It is just awareness. It is the awareness that you exist, and it is the awareness of who you believe to be inside of that existence. And that's where they're focusing on right now. And they're saying that that is where all the information comes from. It is coming from the awareness that you exist. and that you have this awareness of not only your existence, but of existence beyond you as well. Because if you exist, there is also existence that lies beyond you. Um, and so this awareness is both of you and of what is not you. And that is the source point of, they're saying, of this conversation. And they're showing me that this is where you must go in order to receive information, information about you, about your truth, and about your, yeah, about you and about your truth, and about what it is you are longing to understand beyond that. And they're saying that anything that you're desiring to perceive beyond the knowledge of who and what you are is what? Is simply a misunderstanding or a misguided awareness and perception of what you are in the first place. Okay, go on. They're saying that the information doesn't exist beyond you or outside of you. That is your perception of what it is based on your perception of you. That you have this idea that you are you and that there is something that is outside of you. But that is just the awareness of your human perspective of that, but they want you to see it differently inside of the context of this conversation and this question. If you can, if you can feel, it's not an understanding, it's a feeling. If you can feel that you are, if you are what? That you are what? That you are all things, and that there is nothing that exists outside of you, then you can see that you have access to everything and anything. Anything that you could possibly want to know in terms of knowledge, it's already inside of you. And so it's the perception that it's out there somewhere, that you're going to be receiving it from some place that is getting you a little bit tripped up. And so they just want to refocus that mind frame because that is the first step that is sort of kind of making it more challenging for you, is just having the perception that you're going to get it from something. When we talk about spirit, we think, oh, my guides are sending me information, and that's just the way, I can only speak for myself. That's just the way I describe it because it's the easiest way to explain it. But my spirit guides aren't sending me anything. They are parts of me that I am tuning into, and they actually exist inside of me. We are one and the same. They are simply a personification of of a sense of my awareness of me. And I don't often describe them that way, um, simply because it's not a perspective that is understood and also talked about elsewhere. And I just haven't had an opportunity to kind of like come right out and voice those opinions, but I'm being encouraged to. And maybe this is something we can dive deeper into in a future episode, but we tend to talk about spirits as out there. But if you can think about them as in here, it is just an awareness of another aspect of you that you are perceiving to be outside of you, but that is actually just an extension of your sense of self. Then you can go to the origin point of where all knowledge and information is found, which is inside of your awareness of what it is that you're actually searching for, which is meaning and fame and validation um, and realization that you're meet your existence and purpose. Your existence has purpose. Yeah. Okay. Cut because they just want to continue that through line because if you don't have access to the information that you believe you could or you should, then it gives less meaning to your existence. And so they just want you to see where this desire for more is coming from. It's coming from a desire to fulfill a belief system that you are less than incapable or unworthy or less grand, less magnificent without it because you're perceiving it to be out there and something that you don't yet have. And so the way to have access to it and to be is to be reminded of it is to feel it within you, to feel your own identity as beyond the information that you're seeking. Can you expand on that, please? They're saying that when you feel fully accepting of who and where and what you are, you no longer need that information because that information, all it's going to do is um, revalidate that you exist, that your purpose has meaning, and that your life is purposeful, and that everything that you already feel and know is all that matters, and there's nothing else that's needed. Um, and ironically, the way to access that information is to feel those things first. Can you explain that, please? You can't access frequency that you don't already feel is available within you. And what you're searching for, you are interpreting as knowledge, as wisdom, as information, but it's actually vibration. It's vibration that carries awareness and perspective because why? Because it resonates inside of your mind and body differently. And that difference in resonance carries with it new awareness of something else that you're seeing and identifying for the first time. So it's perspective through the vibration of that perspective that you are becoming aware of. And the way to become aware of it is to feel it. And the way to feel it is to be open to feeling all that you are inside of you and through it too. And so and so what these people are doing, the ones who are receiving intuitive information that you don't feel you have access to, is they are lowering their defenses and they are deciding and determining that this information is available to them, they are worthy of receiving it, and that they have, on some level, done the work to justify experiencing that vibration, that resonance, and that perspective. So they are not going out there and getting it, they are matching it from the inside. Okay. And when you can match the frequency that you're desiring to obtain, you are embodying it as you and all of the awareness and perspective that comes along with that vibration. And so, what they're trying to show you is that the information that's not yet available to you is a byproduct of your belief systems about what that information is and about who you are in relation to it. And the way to access it is to open your heart to the part of you that doesn't feel worthy of receiving it. And once you can begin to knock down those walls and open your heart and live from an open-hearted place of vulnerability and acceptance, the vibrations that carry that information become available from within you. And all you have to do is close your eyes and feel into them. And those vibrations, as they're felt, will carry with them knowledge. And it's ultimately knowledge about who you are because you are all of it embodied. It is not knowledge and awareness that is separate from you, that is outside of you, that's out there. It is knowledge and awareness of what? Of the energy that makes up the very being that you are, which is all things. That's a really beautiful way of explaining that. Where would you like to go from here? They're saying, so the first step for you, if you would like to begin receiving intuitive information, knowledge, awareness, or perspective that you have tried to receive and that doesn't feel like is accessible for you, the first step is identifying why you believe. The first step is identifying what? What you fear may not be available to you otherwise, where you don't feel worthy or capable of opening up to it, and what possibility or potential you are feeling is unavailable to you in the now moment, because that information is already here. It not only exists inside of you, it is the very makeup of what and who you are. So it's not that it's like out there and you haven't learned how to access it, is that you haven't on the deepest, most fundamental level desired to, because there's an unworthiness in doing so. There's a part of you that doesn't feel capable, that doesn't feel resonant with that vibration. The more open-hearted from you to you become, the more what? They're saying like you're going to be existing on the same playing field as that energy, and you're going to just embody it and vibrate as it, and then be capable of feeling it, recognizing it, and living as it. And the knowledge that is available through it is available through you too, as it. And what's stopping you from that process is the idea of moving through life with an open heart, that there's something incredibly scary and vulnerable about doing that. You don't want to open your heart completely, because if you do that, then you're going to be a target. You're going to be a target for pain and suffering that other people in other circumstances are going to have um, the open door to to direct at you. And it will lead to circumstances where you will be in suffering because of that. You're basically like opening the door to your own demise. And it's that belief system that you can't be or feel safe if you let your guard down and live from an open heart. That is they're saying the ultimate journey for you through this question. All right. Anything else you'd like to share about this? They're saying take this as it is, allow it to percolate, um, allow it to simmer inside of you, see what resonates and see what doesn't. And if it doesn't feel like this belongs to you, like this frequency of the delivery of this message is for you, then let it go. Let it be. Then it's not for you. But if you're sensing that there's more here to uncover for you, follow that thread. Let it guide you, let it lead you, because all it's going to do is lead you into where you've been desiring to go anyway. You've just been perceiving the destination is out there when it's been inside all along. Okay, they're wanting me to share my experience. What would you like me to share about it? They're just saying share your journey. This is my journey, what I'm talking about right now. There was a I didn't come out of the womb having access. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that. We all come out of the womb having access to these abilities because it is the innateness of who and what we are. But we forget and we override those knowings and feelings because we are conditioned out of them. And that was me. I was just the average person. I didn't have a frame of reference for spirituality at all. I considered myself an atheist. I did not believe in anything remotely related to religion or spirit. If science could not prove it, I did not believe in it at all. And it was a process, a very slow and unraveling and unfolding process of my entire belief systems being switched and then doing endless day after day of inner work. I started a business. It wasn't a spiritual business, it was a fitness business. That was my background. It's what I went to school for. And that all of my inner child things that I had avoided for over 30 years began to surface, and I had to address them. Not because I understood that my intuition would unfold as a byproduct, but because I wanted to be able to have clients and make money and not feel like I was in the middle of a complete breakdown and panic attack every day. And it was a very slow, unfolding, gradual process for me of discovering spirituality, of wanting to grow my intuition, and of realizing what was actually required to do that and doing the work. And the work was very slow and repetitive and consistent, but ultimately it was about breaking down all of my limiting beliefs and practicing, giving myself permission to practice and make a complete fool out of myself. And I did a lot of readings and coaching sessions that were awful. I gave myself permission to be awful. And it was so hard. It was so hard. And I still feel a lot of embarrassment and shame about those experiences, but that was what was required in order to develop this ability. I wanted it more than I feared it. That's essentially what it comes down to. And I just kept at it. And all of the embarrassment and all of the fear and all of the shame was loud. And it still is. And if anyone says differently, then they're just denying what's truly there, or it's not appearing for them in a way that's fully noticeable to them, but they're feeling it um, because they're human. And so these abilities that I have now were a byproduct of consistently questioning my own belief systems and choosing love and acceptance over self-loathing and fear and shame and hate. And doing that over and over and over again and uncovering deeper and deeper layers. And the more open I was inside of who I am, the more I was open to just feeling the resonance of source consciousness, which is ultimately love, unconditional love for me, unconditional love for me. So having love for who I am, regardless of what I look like, regardless of how much money I make, regardless of how successful I am, regardless of all of my accomplishments, regardless of anything, and just loving myself because I choose to. And the more I did that, the more, how would you describe it? the more the willingness to open up to my own truth rose to the surface. And inside of that vibration, I was able to access a greater volume of truth, which is all consciousness is. It is a vibration of understanding, which, which, which what? Which stems from a desire to understand you and seeing where that leads. And it leads back to you, is what they're saying. So, how would you like to sum this up today? They're saying take this information, let it percolate, let it simmer, and see where it guides you. And if it guides you in, great. If it guides you out, amazing. It doesn't matter what you do with this information as long as you follow the the pull on where on where it's guiding you, on where you're wanting to be guided and led, because you're going to uncover experiences and awareness and trials and tribulations and lessons regardless. And that is where your wisdom is going to come from. It's from your own lived experience, regardless of what it is. And that is just holds just as much merit as the knowledge and wisdom that you're perceiving is above and beyond and better because it's coming from out there and not from within. And that, they're saying, is the ultimate lesson, is that what you feel inside of you and the knowledge and wisdom that you've acquired based on your own lived experiences is what is the very essence of your own soul self expressing itself through you, and you allowing yourself to have that experience is the personification of what? Of love itself. Because you're experiencing you and you're choosing to, and you're learning from it. Witness what you're learning, feel it, express it, evoke it, share it, and watch how you evolve, grow, and learn in the process and as a byproduct. I'm not sure if this is what you were expecting, but the messages inside of this episode really resonated for me because it's everything that they've always taught me slash I've always learned from within me, and it's been my lived experience. And it's everything that I do when I'm coaching clients. So, if this is something that you're wanting to explore on a deeper level, if you're really wanting to understand how do I open my heart to myself? What am I afraid of in doing that? How do I do that? How can I be guided to do that? And in turn, learn to hear my own inner voice and my own truth and allow it to be felt through me and begin to trust in it so I can do it more and more consciously and effortlessly as time goes by. That's what I do. And so I'm offering one-on-one sessions right now, 90-minute single 90-minute sessions, or there's packages of 3-month mentorships. You can find all the information about that on my website, amandalaurenblau.com. You can find the link to that in my bio on my YouTube page. So go ahead, read all about that, and you can reach out to me if you have any questions or if you'd like to book a session with me and we can explore this on a deeper level. Thank you so much for joining me inside of this Spirit School episode today, and I will see you next week for the next one. Bye.